Good morning, everyone. So happy to be here with you today. This opening piece I wrote this a while back with one of my students who was going through an evolution of, she was 18, leaving her childhood ideas of God into her more adult views. This is called Show Me. I feel like a criminal. I feel like I might kick myself out of my home. And I've tried so hard. I haven't seen you try at all. Can you lift me up out of my pain? But silence is what I'm getting time and time and time again. The stories are unraveling. I'm holding on to a thread. I need more than the suspicions filling my head. Won't you show me? Show me. Take my hand and open up the door. Because I just can't believe anymore. Show me, show me, where were you in my time of need? It's getting harder and harder to believe. Yesterday I ran in the rain. I swear that I could have kept running all day, and right before my legs would quit, I would see my strength and maybe laugh a bit. I walk around with my big smile, just hoping to help someone who feels like I felt for a while. And sometimes they smile back. That woman, she knew that we both needed that. Sometimes you just need a sign. Show me, show me. Take my hand and open up the door. Because I just can't believe anymore. Show me, show me, where were you in my time of need? It's getting harder and harder to believe. I need something, my faith in you is not getting me by. I need something that I can hold on to at night. You reassure me, make me promises you can't keep. I need something, it's getting too hard for me to believe. I need something, my faith in you is not getting me by. I need something that I can hold on to at night. You reassure me, make me promises you can't keep. I need something, it's getting too hard for me to believe. Won't you show me, yeah, show me, show me. Won't you show me? Oh, won't you show me? Show me, show me, where were you in my time of need? It's getting harder and harder to believe.
Wow. We are so blessed. Here. to have a wonderful minister, a wonderful music director, all in one person. Are we not? We are.
You better stop it. You better stop it. Y'all better stop
really
it.
Beautiful. So, good morning. My name is, nice to see all of you on this. We're still, I guess, in the midst of a holiday weekend, right? So I appreciate that all of you are here with us today. My name is Kate Kowalski. I'm the president of the board of our beloved fellowship here, UUFF. And I also co-lead the Mindful Discussions group along with the wonderful Brooke Eldridge. We're on break right now from the discussion group, which is lovely, but I hope those of you who are meeting informally had a nice conversation downstairs today. So I'm pleased to welcome all of you, longtime members and friends, and new, young and old. You are an essential part of our celebration today, and we're very glad that you're here. Whether today is your first time joining us, and I spoke with a couple of visitors today, and we welcome you, or your 1000th Sunday with us, we are stronger because of your presence today. And we are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. For those of you joining online, welcome to you too. If you're new, please check out our website, uufayetteville.org, for more information. And for those visiting us in person today, you'll find a visitor information card in the seat back in front of you. I always feel like I'm on an airplane either when I hear that or when I'm saying that, but in the seat back in front of you, you will find a lovely, we'd love for you to fill one out so you can get on our email list and keep you informed of our events. We won't be doing Joys and Concerns today, officially today. However, having said that, there is a Joys and Concerns card also in the seat back in front of you. And if you have something you would like to share, please do. You can drop it in the offering basket. It'll go to the care team or to Reverend Renee or to whomever needs to fawn or whoever needs to see it. And if you need hearing assistance, our wonderful AV tech, David, in the back corner can help you. As always, children are very welcome in our service. But if you find that they or you prefer, there's also a staff nursery downstairs where they will be lovingly cared for. So with that, welcome.
Please join me as we light the chalice. The words are on the screen and are also in the order of service. Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Kate. Good morning, dear ones. I am so happy to be here with you today sharing about going to General Assembly. This year was so much different than last year, so much more chill. Polity-wise, it was more relaxed. You might remember me sharing that, except for the ones of you that are new, welcome. Last year, there was this great big vote on adopting the new core values and allowing the principles to become a part of our cherished recent history. Last year, GA was intense. And I was hard focused on the issues. I think Kate was too. Last year was dramatic. And it didn't feel that way at all this year. I mean, our world, our country, our current administration is dramatic, but not General Assembly. I learned so much, and it wasn't draining at all. As a matter of fact, I felt very filled up. And I didn't really know how empty my UU bucket was until it started to get full again. Let me back up. What is GA? General Assembly. It's the annual meeting of Unitarian Universalists where we gather to worship and witness and learn and connect and make policy decisions for the association through a democratic process. And while anyone can attend, congregations must certify annually, we certify every year here, to have voting delegates. Kate and I were your voting delegates this year, and I would love for more of us to play there next year together. Next year is all virtual. It'll be fun. Let's play. We can attend from our couches. That'd be fun. According to the UUA, more than 3,279 UUs from 592 congregations in 48 states. I can't help but wonder who those other 2 states are, but whatever. And 4 countries participated in GA this year. This is the assembly for the U.S. Other countries have their own, but folks from other countries joined us this year because, ready? It was the 200th anniversary of the American Unitarian Association, which is the predecessor of UUA. And I think folks from other countries also joined us because we UUs are suffering this year under the current administration. I want to share what this year's theme was, and I'm going to quote UU World Magazine. The theme of General Assembly 2025 was Meet the Moment. And as ground-shaking world events unfolded around them, Unitarian Universalists showed what meeting the moment looks like in real time. And it's so true. The first day we were there, we condemned the Supreme Court. Oh, it's hard to call them the Supreme Court. Anyway, we condemned the Supreme Court for their curtailing the rights of trans folks. And hours after the United States announced on Saturday, June 21st, that it had bombed Iran, the UUA issued a statement condemning the action, saying it represents a moral failure, and Unitarian Universalists are compelled through our religious beliefs to speak out against it. This was happening in real time as we were gathered together as a religion, meeting the moment. This is what we do. We meet the moment. Unitarian Universalists don't hide behind creeds that are hundreds of years old. We don't live in the past. Not that we don't honor the past, but we don't live there. We look the present in the eye, and as a religion, we meet the moment. In addition to challenging things, in addition to the challenging things that we did, we also had literally the best worship services I've ever attended in my entire life. I have exciting news. We UUs have a new hymnal. And I will show you that at a service later in the summer. But the music at GA and the services and the workshops were so uplifting that I wrote a song about it. I wrote a song at GA this year. It's been a minute since I've written a song, especially a song for a church. And so I say song, it's more like a chant. It's more like a gospel chant. It's 3 verses, and Kate was very encouraging to me about this, and so I'm going to teach it to you. And this will be our opening hymn. So keep your seats while we're learning it. So that's the tune. Listen to me sing it once. This is the same thing kind of over and over again, but the first is you, the second is we, and the third is I. This is kind of a gospel feel. Okay, so listen once. You are love, exactly what the world needs. You are love, just as you are. You are love, giving and receiving. You are love, a bright and shining star. Before we get up, let's sing it once together. Ready, and you are love, exactly what the world needs. You are love, just as you are. Good. You are love, giving and receiving. You are love, a bright and shining star. You got it! I can't believe you're singing my song back to me. Okay, let's all rise and we'll go through the tune. I'll do the intro one more time. Here we go. You are love, exactly what the world needs. You are love, just as you are. You are love, giving and receiving. You are love, a bright and shining star. Now we are love, exactly what the world needs. We are love, just as we are. Yeah. We are love, giving and receiving. We are love, bright and shining stars. Now sing it to yourself. I am love, exactly what the world needs. I am love, just as I am. I am love, giving and receiving. I am love, a bright and shining star. Yay! You may be seated. Yay! Good singing. Wow. Okay.
I told you we were blessed. Okay, so now it's time for the offering. The important work of this fellowship is possible because of your generous contributions of time, talent, and treasure. Every contribution of every size is helpful and very much appreciated. As we pass the offering baskets, we invite you to share financially. If you prefer, you may give at our website or by text or by mailing checks to our office, and we will greatly appreciate it and receive them lovingly. Go.
Let go of the stress you hold, let go. Let go of the anger deep down in your soul. Life is just a series of moments connected in a string of beautiful moments. So go ahead, kick your shoes off. It's all right, we'll turn our phones off. Rest upon my soft pillow, and I will pet your head. You have everything you need right now. Relax, just relax. You have everything you need right now. Relax. Life is just a series of moments connected in a string of beautiful moments. And it's our choice in the moment how we send it. We can laugh, we can fuss, or we can just sit. But if we choose to focus on the bad, being irritated, cold, or mad, then we lose another moment that we can't get back. So go ahead, kick your shoes off. It's all right. The wine's a twist off. Rest upon my soft pillow, and I will pet your head. That's probably enough. Hey! All right. Thank you. So before we talk about the CSAIs, which is the congregational study / action issues, I was super excited about this, so I had to talk about it. I wanted to share a little bit about the elections and the actions of immediate witness. We didn't have to worry about any kind of big election this year, so it was pretty easy. We just voted on the new moderators for GA, some boards, and some award recipients. And of course, if you want to know more about that sort of polity stuff, Kate and I can direct you to good websites that have more in-depth information. Okay, AIWs are statements about a significant action, event, or development in the world that necessitates immediate engagement and action among UU congregations and affiliated groups. There were 3 AIWs up for considerations, and delegates voted to affirm all 3. Number 1, faithful defiance of authoritarianism, a call to action, reaffirming our covenants for democracy and freedom. Ooh. That passed with 98.3% of the votes. 2, I mentioned this at our Pride service, this one. Funding global LGBTIQ freedom amid crisis, a call for immediate action and solidarity. Again, 98.3% of votes. And the last one, we declare and reaffirm all people have inherent worth and inalienable rights. And 99.2% voted for that. That's a lot of Unitarians agreeing on the same thing. It was very powerful and exciting to see all of us voting to affirm these action items. Okay, now for the CSAIs. For sure, this had the closest votes. This was the most dramatic polity part. You know I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd about the polity parts. I love it. Okay, I heard that. Congregational study and action issues invites UU congregations to engage in a 3-year period of study, reflection, and action around a specific topic. And all UU congregations will be thinking about this same topic. In the 3rd year of the process, we vote to approve a statement of conscience. It's like a group conscience. It's really neat. It becomes a part of our theology. That's one of the ways that we're a living tradition. We see that we learn better ways, and then we do it. Okay, so delegates ultimately voted for abolition is faith formation. Abolition is faith formation. And maybe you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Most of us know the term abolition in regards to the end of enslavement. And that's true, but it goes deeper than that. There were 2 other CSAIs that were considered: housing, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and fat liberation, building justice and inclusion for larger bodies. Kate and I discussed these, and both of us could have easily voted for any of these topics. They're all important to the inherent worth and dignity of every person. All of these CSAIs, they had to present a proposal, right? So they all had different sections: the issue, the need, how it relates to UUism, its foundations, who put it forward. And so
I'm not going to talk about all of them deeply, but I just want to share a titch about these three. And we'll be talking more about abolition in the coming years. This is important. And I want, we haven't always been involved in conversations like this, but we deserve to be. I want UUFF to be involved in this conversation. We are justice-seeking people, just like the big UU churches on the coasts. We are a justice-seeking people. Okay, the CSAI that received the fewest votes was Fat Liberation, Building Justice and Inclusion for Larger Bodies. But it brought up an incredible point, and their issue, the issue that they brought forth was, fat people are discriminated against in healthcare, employment, and housing, and stigmatized in all areas of life. Fat Liberation seeks to end this injustice which exists at the intersection of racism, sexism, ableism, and capitalism. And by studying weight bias, UUs can advocate for the acceptance of all bodies. They brought this up at GA last year too. I didn't even know it was a thing. And as a fat person, I was like, oh, I had all sorts of feelings about it. All kinds of feelings about it. Anyway, so the next one, housing, diversity, equity, and inclusion. The issue, access to housing that is safe, affordable, and sustainable will reduce suffering and save lives. Millions of people seek adequate shelter in the United States. Federal support for housing assistance is being reduced. In response, communities can help each other in organizing for housing justice. This one almost won. There was like a runoff and a revote, and this one won the first time, and then abolition won the second time. Very dramatic. Okay, and so this was the winner. Abolition, transformation, and faith formation. Before I start this, what I should tell you is CLF stands for Church of the Larger Fellowship. It is a group of ministers serving populations like folks that are incarcerated, like communities that don't have a UU church, all sorts of the larger fellowship. Abolition is a holistic approach to systemic social change that includes, but is not limited to, the abolition of slavery, replacing systems and cultures of violence, coercion, and control with transformative justice and relational practices, and dismantling, here comes the key word, the prison industrial complex as we now know it. It requires the transformation of our society and the replacement of our current public theologies of retributive justice and violence. It's grounded in at least 200 years of UU history and theology. The Church of the Larger Fellowship comes to the issue of abolition based on our accountability to the almost 2,000 incarcerated UUs who call our CLF congregation their spiritual home. As Unitarian Universalists, we have long made some version of the theological claim that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. And at CLF, the long-standing ministry to and with incarcerated UUs has taught us that the prison industrial complex is designed with the exact opposite in mind, the exact opposite of inherent worth and dignity. Universalism teaches that our worthiness is not defined by sin. We don't do sin around here. If we truly believe this, we are charged to develop better ways to treat people who do harm or who are unjustly accused of doing harm. We believe that our faith calls us to imagine a future in which none of our siblings are shackled and caged. Many of our spiritual ancestors embraced the abolition of slavery in the United States, and those who did are rightly celebrated as heroes of UUism. Theodore Parker, Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, William Lloyd Garrison, Lucy Stone, so many, so many. And yet their abolitionist project was left unfinished. The 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution abolished enslavement, and here's what it literally says, except as a punishment for crime. So yeah, we almost abolished slavery. It's time we finish the job that they started. And this goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on, and I want to share all of it, but we're going to move on a little bit. Out in the narthex, out in the lobby, where you pick up your orders of service, Fawn has made, I've created a handout, Fawn copied the handout. There's like 10 of these with all of the information on it. I would love to share, and if we need more, we'll make more, because I want you to know. Okay, so, boop, boop. I'll try not to make that noise every time I hit the button. There are quite a few topics for this, but we're just, and subtopics, but we're just going to look at the first topic and its subpoints. The first topic is UU theologies and abolition. So this is how abolition relates to UUism, right? What is our theology of sin? What is it? Of redemption, of repentance and repair. What do we as UUs believe about that? Or what do you personally believe about that? How does our theology centering love ask us to respond to a public theology that's based on punishment, revenge, violence, coercion, and definite dehumanization? How do we live our covenantal declaration that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion? How do we live it? What does universalism, the notion that we are all saved by being reconciled with a love greater than our sins? Maybe we should do a whole service on sin someday. I have such a hard time with that word. My gosh. What does that mean in the 21st century? How do we live this part of our faith heritage? What does it mean to proclaim a theology that no one, no matter what they've done or been accused of doing, is disposable? No one is disposable. And how do we teach our children about Unitarian Universalist theological claims and work with them to embody them? This was only the first topic. There were many, many topics. I say that many. There's like 7. And they all have these super deep subtopics. But isn't this important? This is important. I'm really proud of us as a religion for looking into this. And it's nuanced. And it's hard. And there were discussions like, well, don't we need prisons? Okay, maybe. Do they need to look like they look now? Don't know that. Don't think so. Don't think so. Let's talk about it. Let's keep talking about it. And we will more in the coming months. So there's a bit of my GA experience. And I've been chewing on this. This has been like an endless piece of Laffy Taffy that I've been chewing on and chewing on and chewing on and chewing on. I can't wait to talk more about this with you, and I can't wait to hear about Kate's GA experience.
Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.
My GA experience is ongoing, I would say. One of the benefits of joining online, and as Reverend Renee mentioned, it was held in person in Baltimore, but they also had at least a portion of it, not everything, but at least a portion of it and a lot of the main things online. And one of the benefits is they've got a number of on-demand workshops and sessions that have been pre-recorded that we have the opportunity to continue to view. And so in that sense, this will be an ongoing process for me. And as I'm going through the various workshops and materials and things, I'm trying to send them off to individuals here within our fellowship who might also be able to benefit from them. So let me just backtrack a little bit and say, number one, it was really an honor to get to represent UUFF along with Reverend Renee at GA. This was my second time attending as the board president. And just like last year, I agree, it was a little more intense, given some of the discussions and conversations and things, that whole polity piece of it. This year I found it a bit less intense. And at the same time, I found my experience was that there was sort of a soberness. Now, I had to look up the difference between soberness and somberness yesterday to make sure that I had the terms right. Because for me, there was a soberness in the sense that there was a realization of, meeting the moment, of the real serious times that we're in and what the reality of that means for many of us, for all of us. And at the same time, it wasn't somber. It was hopeful. And there was even a commitment to joy throughout. And I keep talking about, joy is resistance, and I really believe that. So, I was happy to see that there was some threads around joy. But Reverend Renee asked that I share a bit of, for me to reflect on some of the highlights I experienced. So it's important that I qualify what I'm saying in that I view my role in attending GA as going as a representative of all of you, of the congregation. And so I go with my president of the board hat on, as opposed to, a professional development kind of a thing, although it certainly is that. So given that, I tend to attend things that deal with church operations and financing and governance. Reverend Renee gets to do the fun stuff around worship and inspiration and music and all of that, which is great. And I may see if I can still watch some of those. But, I'm always thinking about, some of these more operational kinds of things that are really important. So let me share a few highlights in no particular order. In fact, I'm going to end with my favorite one, or what was the top highlight, I would say. But, the first was just connecting with other UU leaders, from congregations around the country. They had this year what they called wave cohorts, and we met each morning of the conference for about 90 minutes, and they were dedicated to a specific topic. So I attended one that was focused on strategies around stewardship and fundraising, and particularly in challenging times. And so, during the 90 minutes, part of the time was the presenters, presenting material, and then part of the time was in small group breakouts on Zoom with others from other UU fellowships around the country. And that was really helpful. There's something there's a sense of connectedness when you're talking with people who are sharing some of your same struggles and challenges, and also being able to learn some strategies. And as I go through my notes, I will be, again, sharing thoughts and ideas with different, with representatives here within our fellowship who are dealing with some of those issues. And some of that I've already shared with Reverend Renée and with Christina, our operations manager, and others. So a second highlight I'd mentioned, just in terms of some of the informational sessions, and I'll just share with you 3 in particular that I found really useful given our particular context and what's happening here. The first was called Safe Congregations in Uncertain Times. Now, it's kind of heartbreaking to me that we have to think about this, but the reality is that we do. And one of the reasons that I was really drawn to this one is the board recently appointed here at UUFF a Safety and Security Committee, a newly established one, because I know we've had one in the past, to take a look at our entire safety and security footprint and to offer us some suggestions for updates to our policies, our procedures, trainings, all of those kinds of things. And I am so tremendously grateful to Ruth Parcells, to Kobe Cogbill, to Dallas Arsenault, Reverend Renée, and to Christina, our operations manager, who are part of that committee. And I already shared the link to the recording of that session with Reverend Renée so that she could pass it along to the safety and security team. Lots of just really practical, specific ideas, if everything from medical, how to respond to medical needs, how to respond to active threats, how to respond to, cyber kinds of issues, but just really practical things. So that was helpful. Another session was called Generosity as a Shared Value, Making It Real, that dealt with stewardship and financial support of UU congregations. And granted, none of us really like talking about money, but it's a reality. In order for us to be able to keep our building and our grounds and our structure and our staff and our programs and do what we do, obviously it takes money. And all fellowships around the country are dealing with these issues. It was presented by people who work for an organization called Stewardship for Us, and they specifically help UU congregations with fundraising projects and those kinds of things. And one thing that was really interesting from that session was just a discussion around demographic trends. Now, I don't necessarily think about that or know much about that, but how it relates then to giving to nonprofits and charitable organizations. I was really happy to learn that Gen Z is considered to be one of the most empathetic. They have a high level of empathy for others and for the community, and so they're starting to do some research on how that might influence giving to nonprofits and that kind of thing. And so I shared a report called The Shifting Landscape of American Generosity with Edith Bradbury, who's the chair of our stewardship team, along with Reverend Renée and Christina. And then another really thought-provoking workshop that was a little bit heady was Mort, I thought of you, was called Religious Freedom for Religious Progressives, and it was presented by a UU minister who had his first career as an attorney. And it was just a really interesting discussion of strategies around the First Amendment that could be used to protect the freedom of expression and constitutional rights and religious values of liberals and progressives. So definitely a meet the moment kind of a topic. The final highlight I'll mention was just an incredibly powerful Saturday evening lecture given by Amara Jones. I don't know if people are familiar with. If you haven't heard of Amara, and I admit that I hadn't previously heard of her, I was so glad that we tuned into that, to her talk, her lecture. I definitely encourage you to check her out. It was amazing. She was amazing. I mean, just in terms of background, Amara is an Emmy and Peabody award-winning creator of Translash Media. And her bio describes Translash as a cross-platform, nonprofit journalism and narrative organization that produces content to shift the current culture of hostility towards transgender people in the U.S. She was named by Time magazine in 2023 as one of the 100 most influential people on the planet. And I totally got that after hearing her speak. She was a powerhouse. And again, her approach was not somber, but definitely sober. And her lecture focused on the deliberate strategic targeting of the trans population by the political right in order to achieve political power. And she took us through the history, the strategy behind this really calculated approach the right took to divide Americans around the issue of trans rights and how it contributed to the election results we saw last year. It was powerful. Interestingly, Amara holds degrees from the London School of Economics, as well as from Columbia University, and she's held a number of economic policy positions, including in the Clinton campaign and the Clinton administration, in the de Blasio, former mayor of New York, in his administration. And then she's done that in addition to the work that she's done in the media. And I mention it only because her background was clearly evident in her talk. I mean, it was fact-based, powerful. And so that was, and I think you agree. Yeah.
Epically beautiful black trans woman, and she had the coolest, freaking, most beautiful coif I've ever seen in my entire life. She was epically beautiful. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
Yeah. And bold and smart and what our daughters would say, I mean, a badass.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I'm still working my way through a lot of the on-demand sessions, and like I said, I'll continue to pass along information and resources to relevant people. But my hope is that we can continue to gain or spread the knowledge and the resources that we've gleaned from GA. And like I said, it was really an honor for me to be able to represent all of you in voting. I voted for the housing issue because I know what a serious and timely issue that is here in Fayetteville. So that was but like you said, I mean, any of the issues were ones that were worthy of a vote. But that's where mine went, just so you know. Thank you.
That's the only thing we voted differently on.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But just like you all, I mean, we tried to celebrate the diversity of you all, and voted our conscience. I knew you'd want us to.
So thank you.
Thank you. Yay! So our closing hymn is one that I learned at GA, and it is a traditional hymn. Also probably considered, I don't know that this is necessarily considered a spiritual, probably it is. Shirley Caesar made this possible, and she's amazing. And so this is one that was at one of the main worship services at GA, and it's This Joy That I Have. And let me sing a little bit of it to you, and then we'll all stand and sing it. It goes, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And then it changes. It's incredible. Let's all stand and sing it. Here we go. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This world that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Yeah, good singing. You may be seated. Yes. One of the things I learned at the at the worship, the different worship services, is that a lot of you start and end their services with joy, and I was like, oh, huh. Noted. So okay, that was a little bit of joy for us. Okay, Ben, would you mind? Thank you.
Please join me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you.
These questions were used as journal prompts, as conversation topics, and for us to take back to our congregations. These are in your order of service, or you can take a picture of the screen with your phone or whatever feels right. But please do consider these. What is the moment that we are in as UUs and in our wider world? What are the most urgent and important needs and opportunities of this moment? And how do our UU values call us to respond? Kate and I did our very best to represent you at GA 2025, and I was so proud. I was so proud because I got to introduce myself a lot, and I was like, from the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville, Arkansas. You know, I felt so good introducing myself as your minister. It felt so good and so right, and I was so proud. I'm already really looking forward to next year. I can't wait. So thank you very much. I love you, and namaste. Amado mío, love me forever, and let forever begin tonight. Amado mío, when we're together, I'm in a dream world.
of sweet delight. Many times I've whispered, amado mio. It was just a phrase that I'd heard in plays I was acting a part. But now when I whisper, amado mio, can't you tell I care by the feelings there, 'cause it comes from my heart. I want you ever. I love my darling, wanting to hold you so much and hold you tight. Amado mio.